The other day you were telling me that you think your son is on drugs.
Well, I mean, he's not, but I had that moment where I was like, oh, am I the idiot dad that like doesn't know that his kid's on drugs?
Yeah, your son's what, 13?
Yeah, it's very scary.
And what did he do? You told me this was really weird.
He writes like a lot of theories on paper that are like hard to decipher, and I don't know if it's because he's like smart or I'm just really
like
stupid.
Theories? Like did Iron Man actually die in Avengers, or like other kinds of theories?
No, that's in your diary. These are like scientific theories, like about black holes and.
Do you think he's a genius?
No, I'm not. I would never say that my son is a genius.
I'd never say my son is intellectual.
Smarter than you.
Okay,
but
we don't have to get into this.
No, but then he doesn't sleep at night.
Sure.
So then at 3:30 in the morning, he walked up to my mother, who's sleeping on the couch because she's staying with us, and he went, "Good night, Grammy," like that, and he woke her up. She was like, like that, and it was just like a weird thing to do.
So he went up there and said, "Good night, Grammy,"
yeah,
as she was sleeping.
Yeah, and my mother was freaked the fuck out.
What did he say? What was his explanation for that?
Well, I asked him, I go, what were you doing last night at 3:30 in the morning? You woke Grammy up to tell her good night. And he's like, no, I always say good night to her, and she doesn't respond. But last night, she heard me.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, okay. Isn't that weird?
That is kind of scary.
Yeah.
Really scary.
It's so creepy, right? To have somebody come up in your ear.
I'm always taking out the dead bodies at 3:30 in the morning. This time, Grammy saw them.
That's what we all thought. And then
She's
I was like,
next.
I was like, is he on drugs? Yeah, he's not. He's fine.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where he would get the drugs.
What would you do if you found out that your kids are doing drugs? How do you deal with
Take them away. Give them to Todd. No, I don't know.
Give him the top. No, how do you address it? Like, do you play cool parent and like, hey man, do what you want to do, but like, this isn't a good idea, or do you go like, you're grounded? Have you ever grounded your kids?
I would never ground my kids.
Why?
I think it's so stupid. Literally the dumbest thing in the world. To ground your kids.
Why do you think it's dumb?
Why would you need to ground your kids?
To discipline them because they're
What are you talking
acting
about?
out.
Discipline for what? They don't do anything wrong. I mean, look, if I had like a problem kid, yeah, I'd lock them away. But I can't even fathom that concept because my kids are so perfect.
What about when
Wyatt got his report card last night. We opened it up on
How
camera.
many B's?
This motherfucker got an A. All A's. Not only this semester, but for the entire year.
All A's?
All A's every quarter.
You should talk to him about going out more.
Sounds like a loser.
Whatever, Natalie, you got all A's. She's like, and I partied my fucking ass off as well. Did you party a lot in high school?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, she'd never invite me to him too, and she was my next door neighbor. It's the craziest thing. It really is.
I would literally walk past David's sliding glass door as I was leaving to like some sick party and be like, bye, Dave. See you tomorrow.
I'd be like cleaning my bike for the biker gang to like go out and patrol the town. Like I'd have a BMX bike and we thought we were BMXers, but all we could do is like lift our front tire up. And Natalie would be like, you know, she'd have her like purse, which was like a big deal. If a girl has her purse on in like high school, it's like shit's going down.
Yeah.
Like what's in there? Cigarettes? Like what?
Yeah.
What does she need a purse for? So yeah, I would always see her like going to her car, and she had a car at the time because she was a spoiled brat. And yeah,
what kind of car did she have?
Accord.
Now, in your eyes, was that like really cool, or was it like,
Yeah,
it's just a Civic?
No, it was a very nice car.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Tables turned, bitch. You're the one going to the parties. You know what I'm saying, dog? Right on.
Yeah.
Now you're leaving
Now I'm
Natalie
going to the
home.
mad parties.
No, it's
Show
more like
me.
David's going to the mad parties, and Natalie's like, I'm going to stay in. He's like, please, Natalie, please come with me. Please come out. That's more what it's like.
No, but yeah, I never get invited to the parties. What would you say to that you never invite me to the parties?
Well, I always would invite him to
See?
the parties.
That's what she says all the time. She says I would always invite him to the parties, and that's not true at all.
Let's get to the bottom of this.
Well, I can tell you exactly. I already know the answer to this. I would always invite David, but David, as he does now, travels with the whole group of people. He can't do anything by himself. So David would be invited to the parties, and maybe John Castro wouldn't be invited to the parties.
You see that? I was cool enough to make it to the parties, but all of a sudden, my Filipino friend John was booted off the list.
And I love John.
And I can't go
if John doesn't go, I don't go.
100%.
Okay, fine.
See you, David.
See you later, I guess.
Were these older kids?
They were kids in our grade.
Yeah.
Like Natalie would
Literally
hang
my
out.
science partner.
Natalie would like hang out with like the popular kids.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God, this is so funny. This blows my mind to think
Yeah.
of you as not cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I have that's why I feel like I have a very different perspective on David in comparison to everybody else here that like met him here and does things here.
Sure.
Well, listen,
sometimes I look at you when you're driving and you're like on the phone with people, and I always think of you as this like really cool guy that has everything. And then there's moments where I can drop in and I'm like, oh, this guy's a fucking dork. And I'm like, oh, I see. I can see what you mean, Natalie. That's really interesting because I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see the dorky you sometimes. That probably made you who you are.
It made me stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Natalie bullying me in high school is kind of what started my whole Vine career.
Whoa, what did she do to you?
I encouraged him. I picked him up and I got him onto the Vine platform. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You got him on Vine? No way.
Yeah, we've talked about this. Natalie was the first person who had Vine in our school.
Are your Vines in your phone?
No way.
No, I've had like 8 different phones since then.
You have your
Okay,
Vines?
show off.
No.
Low-key flex over here. I have had like 8 different phones since then. Also, I picked up all the phones in my Honda Accord when I was 16 with the hottest boys in school. You get it. You had a better life growing up.
Wow. Yeah, so anyways, Wyatt's a genius, and
Anyways, Jason's son is on crack.
yeah, and then my daughter last night,
What'd your daughter do?
crying.
Oh my God, you
This
got
divorce is tearing her up, David.
It happened
Divorce.
13 years
Yeah.
ago.
Then I come over here and I start to like tell these guys about how I was dealing with my daughter, upset about the divorce, and Natalie's
Wait,
like,
she was crying
"What's
about
the big deal? Like my parents got divorced. I didn't care."
She's crying about the divorce.
She's just crying about being brought between
Separated.
different families, and she's got to go with one side and then the other side.
When that happens, do you tell her that daddy loves you more than mommy?